So, greetings, welcome everyone to this daily meditation sessions with Sangalai. And here we are again, our second morning together this week, exploring this theme of wholehearted presence. Before we go into a little bit the welcoming and the exploration of this theme, I just want to check that you can hear me. If you can let me know in the chat with some thumbs up. Yesterday we were having a few issues with the sound, so trying to sort it out. Okay, I'm getting some yeses, so I'm guessing you can hear me and hopefully less echoey than yesterday. But if not, we'll just bear it. Great. Oh yeah, wonderful. Okay. Well, I think we can stop now if I sound great. That's all we need to do. Okay. So, yeah, once again, welcoming you to the session. Beautiful to be here. And to feel the community coming together as always into this space. And as always, we will take some time together today to have some reflections on the theme of this week and of today's practice, and then have a practice together and some time for questions, reflections at the end with you, from you. And those who don't know me, my name is Zohar, and I'm really, I say it almost every day, I think, delighted to be here. Delighted to be here with all of you to explore the Dharma together and to be supported by the teachings and by the community. So, deep breath as we arrive. Yesterday we were opening to an atmosphere of gentle curiosity in attention. We were prioritizing that. And we were doing that based on this insight that there is, when there's an experience, there's a way of relating that is impacting our experience. And so, maybe pausing and feeling, if you were practicing yesterday, coming back to that feeling, what that opens up, this gentle curiosity, what that opens up in this moment. And if you weren't here yesterday, equally, just feeling, when we meet experience with gentle curiosity, right now, what opens up? Having this interest in the unfolding of experience. And having that interest in how the way I relate to experience shapes it, impacts it. It's just so interesting, so interesting. Today, I'd like to continue with this exploration of wholesome ways of relating, or ways of relating that support a kind of wholesome, wholehearted presence with experience. And we're going to touch on this quality of sada in Pali, S-A-D-H-A, which means trust or confidence or conviction. And it can be interesting that when we bring gentle curiosity to our experience, we're actually nourishing this quality of confidence or of conviction. People were saying yesterday, after the meditation, when I asked, how did it impact experience? And people were saying, there were moments of calm that I could notice even when there was agitation or there was more perspective. So when we see that, when I bring a way of relating like gentle curiosity to experience, it impacts things in a way that can be helpful or wholesome. And then that nourishes the sense of saddha, yeah, of trust, of confidence, of conviction. Beautiful word, conviction. And this saddha is like a base of our practice that can then encourage us to come in to the practice, to engage with the practice again from that sense of possibility, from that sense of confidence in the path. There is something here worth doing. There's something here that is onward leading. Something here that bears fruit. So it's conviction in the possibilities of the path. It's also a confidence, a faith, a trust in oneself walking the path. And again, we can see it in our practice. Moments when that are difficult or are challenging, and that coming back to that base of, I have a right to walk this path. Yeah. And even when it's not clear what's happening and it just feels to be all over the place, that confidence knows something is happening and I'm doing something wholesome through the walking of this path, through the applying myself to the practice. I may be working with, a lot of body sensations that are maybe challenging or challenging mind, and that sense of confidence, conviction in ourselves, faith and trust in oneself, walking this path is something that we can come back to. This beautiful image in the teachings from the Buddha under the Bodhi tree, right at the end of his journey. He's got this determination that I will sit here until I understand the causes of suffering and until I transform them. And he's sitting there, the Buddha's sitting there with that kind of determination and kind of devotion. And all the doubt comes at him. The image of Mara throwing all the temptations, all the doubts at him, really trying to shake his conviction, in the possibility of freedom from suffering and in the possibility for himself to kind of work through that. And he's trying all these things, shooting arrows, trying to create fear, and trying to entice him with sensual desire in different forms. Nothing works. And then the last thing that Mara tries is, they say to the Buddha, who do you think you are? Yeah. Who do you think you are that you think you can do this? Who do you think you are that you think you can do this? And there's a pause in the story. The Buddha pauses. And then the Buddha puts his hand down and touches the earth. There's many of the statues, you can see that position called Buddha touching the earth. Yeah, so he's got his fingers down, not up here, but you can't see my legs. He's sitting cross-legged and he's got his fingers down and they're just touching, the fingertips are touching the earth. And the Buddha says, the earth is my witness that I have a right. Earth is my witness that I have a right to walk this path, that I have a right to be free of suffering. I have a right to wish freedom from suffering for all beings. And so we can start to see how this opens up. And, if that's a helpful image for you, just remember it's been tremendously helpful for me and still is in my journey. But that sense of confidence or conviction or trust or faith that there is space for us on this path of awakening and of transformation. And that we are doing the work as we apply ourselves. So perhaps we can see this is a really valuable way of relating to experience. And we can even say a way of remembering. Remembrance, it's remembering something reminding ourselves of something, bringing it alive. And that's a great support for our practice. And it's not a blind faith. Sometimes, you may have noticed I didn't use the translation faith straight away. We have a complex relationship. We hear faith, we hear trust, we think, oh, it's a blind faith. No, it's not blind faith. It's a sense of possibility. It's a sense of possibility that is here in this moment, the possibility of this moment, and the possibility of our growth, of our development over time. Yeah. So it's like, yes, we wish for ourselves to be free of suffering. We're standing, sitting, walking, in that conviction. That is what we wish for ourselves, and that's what we wish for all other beings. And we do that through walking the path. And we have a right to do this, each of us. And there is fruit and there is value in the steps that we take, in the breaths that we take, in each moment of our practice. And so we come back to that possibility of well-being, that possibility to lessen dukkha to whatever degree until it's complete transformation, and the possibility to keep cultivating the wholesome, just one drop at a time. This is, again, such a beautiful image from the Buddha. Drop by drop, the water pot fills. Just one drop at a time, just one moment at a time is more than enough. Is actually where the work is, where we walk the path is here, in this moment. And so remembering that confidence in ourselves, that confidence in the path of Dharma, that confidence in the walking of the path, one step at a time. Maybe we can take that sense, that exploration into our practice together. So if you're not already in a posture that's helpful for your meditation practice, then please find it. And we can take a few moments to, whether we're already in the posture or we're finding it, let's take a few moments to settle into the posture, to make any adjustments that are needed. So that the body can be as stable, steady, supported, balanced as possible. As we're doing so, we're inviting the awareness, the attention into the body. And we can invite them more deeply and fully into the body, perhaps using the contact sensations between the body and the seat, body and the ground. Letting the awareness gather and collect. With the sensations of contact. Feeling that grounding, that stable base of the body, resting into it. And from there, gently softening and opening the awareness through the body. Letting the awareness open through the body and expand through the body. Feeling the whole body here. And awareness softening and opening through the whole space. Staying also grounded in the base of the body and the support of the seat or the ground or the mat. And gently opening to this intention of practice as an act of kindness towards ourselves and in the world. Pausing and feeling that intention. And then opening to an appropriate anchor of attention for this practice. Maybe the sound, breathing, the body, any other anchor that is helpful for you. As we're working with the anchor, bringing attention to whatever anchor we're choosing to work with for this session, we can stay at the same time grounded, rooted in the body as a support of stability. Just the contact, just the resting of the body into that which supports it. We're tending to the anchor of attention that we've chosen, that we're working with gentleness and interest. with a light sense of faith or trust or confidence, whatever that resonates best for you in the path, in the possibility. And in yourself, walking this path as best as you can within changing sets of conditions. Let's continue exploring this in silence for a while. Receiving the anchor in gentle curiosity. Tuning to a sense of possibility, groundedness, and confidence in the path and in yourself walking the path. what is unfolding in experience right now. Curious and gentle as you open to whatever is unfolding, remembering possibilities in the path of the path. Helpful, grounding and opening awareness in the body, through the body. Attending with care, with presence, with a remembrance of confidence to the anchor of your meditation practice, the object of attention. As often as needed, again and again. Light sense of possibility, of confidence as you receive the breath or the sounds of the body in awareness. This is a path of transformation, path of the ending of dukkha. And each of us walking this path in this moment as we meet what is here. Again and again. every moment, including this one, an opportunity to meet experience with care and presence, with gentleness and curiosity, with a sense of possibility and a confidence in that possibility that we are supported by and we are also nourishing as we practice. Over and over, attending to the anchor of our practice, the object of our attention, the breath, the sound, weaving that faith, that trust, that conviction as we open to it again and again. the last few minutes of the practice, gathering in confidence, in conviction, and trust, and applying ourselves to the practice. This moment matters. Possibilities open from here. Gathering and nourishing as we attend one moment at a time to what is possible. And the bell rings, not rushing, staying with that sense of possibility as you perhaps change posture or open the eyes. And it can be beneficial, as came up yesterday, when we end a meditation, or perhaps during it, to also just reflect on any moments of calm or ease or well-being or agency, when we were applying ourselves in a way that we felt was bearing fruit or that was wholesome. Reflecting on that, not just kind of moving on quickly to the next thing, but staying with the felt sense of the fruits of our practice in any way that is helpful and beneficial. So before opening to any questions, I want to say a few words about dana and dana practice. As I think most of you know, being here, these sessions are offered in the spirit of dana. They're offered without a price, without an entrance fee, without any charge for the teachings. The invitation to all of us, as also a practice and an embodiment of our faith in the path, is, if it's possible and if we wish to, support the costs, the covering of the costs of the platform, and everything that goes into making Sangha Life possible. And also, if you wish, support me for the teachings. So I'm going to put the Dharma link in the chat. There we go. And if you follow that through, then you will see how to offer Dharma, and whatever you give this week is split between Sangha and myself. And Dharma is very much a practice of saddha, of faith, and of trust in what we have to offer, and in the path as a path of wholesomeness and well-being. So I really welcome any questions or reflections. I see there's already one reflection in the chat. I'll read in a moment. If you wish to ask something about what I said today, or the practice today, then please put it into the chat with kind of at the beginning in capitals question or reflection, so that I know to kind of pick it out of other messages that may be coming into the chat as we go through. And everything is welcome. It can be a clear question. It could be more a reflection on your experience, which I may reflect back on or respond to. So you already have one. Thank you for the meditation. Like Mara's army throwing spears and arrows, and them simply turning to flowers. I felt that I also didn't have to do anything with my thoughts during the sit. No shield was needed, no anger towards them, just gentle observance, and let them land gently. What a lovely feeling. Now, thanks for sharing that, Christian. Really beautiful, isn't it? When we can kind of say, we don't actually need to defend or to reject or to push away. But we just sit back in this space of gentleness and interest and confidence, and those thoughts can just land without landing. Say, yeah, they land, but they don't have to land here. Yeah, they don't need to have an impact. Buddha has this beautiful way of describing thought, sometimes appears in the sutta, where they say the thought occurred to me. Not I thought the thought, not it's my thought, it occurred to me. And sometimes when we can use that also, it's just of that sense of thoughts occur like sounds, like body sensations. They're not always to do with us. They're not always about us. They're not always something we need to engage with in a kind of debate kind of way. And so when we can just let them go past, like that image, beautiful image of the arrows turning into flowers, they just come and they land, and they don't need to land in here, and they don't need to make anything here. As that can be a really beautiful, skillful way of attending to the thoughts and practicing with that wide sense and that sense of possibility. So thank you for that. Very beautiful. So let's see if there's anything else. What was it like? It may have felt like okay, so there's still issues with the sounds. Okay. A little coming and going. Okay. Well, we'll try and get it better tomorrow. Would be helpful. I'll continue what I was going to say, but I see all the comments about the sound. Is it still happening now? And was it a distortion or more coming and going? It would be helpful to know what it was for people. Can be good to know. What I was going to say was it may have felt like we were continuing with a gentle curiosity. Maybe it didn't feel like there was much difference, and I kind of just to point that we were continuing, that it's like a base, and then building on that into that sense of opening to the possibilities. So the gentle curiosity, the care in the presence is a base of what we're doing, and then that sense of the confidence building, confidence building on that, as we practice. Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to try something and tell me what happens when I do this. Sorry, I wish I could keep with the Dharma, but this is important for tomorrow. I don't know if this is helpful, but what happens now? Does there any sound? Is there any difference right now with the cutting out or the sound distortion? Or you don't have to just tell me now. Let's keep going with this for a bit, and I'll carry on talking and get the feedback from those who wish to give it about the sound and how it's working. Yeah, and it always, of course, also depends on what your setup is at home, but not only. Yeah, I was going to ask, you what the sense was with the practice of bringing in that sense of confidence, that sense of possibility. Yeah, what that was like. If there was anything that you saw, anything that you noticed, either, beneficial or not beneficial, helpful or not helpful. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, so I'm asking you that question. I'm also getting responses to the sound, and it's interesting. It sounds like the sound is better without the sound cancellation going on. So, yeah, we'll try it like this tomorrow, and hopefully the fans of the computer won't get too loud for you. So we keep trying to improve. And I'm waiting to see if there's any responses to the question that I asked. What was it like to bring in this quality of confidence into the practice and of this possibility? There we go. I loved what you said about the Buddha's doubts. I find the direction of confidence in the path, and especially each person's capacity to walk it, so helpful to work with my doubt. I felt as if I was in a trance of Vedana for a few days with damaging thoughts. So great to see how thoughts are just thoughts when attention is gentle. Wonderful, thank you. So much insight, again, like with the previous reflection from Christian, here from Caroline. So much insight there of just seeing, that confidence in the path that includes where we are. It's not about being somewhere else. It includes the conditions of this moment and our capacity to walk it. And that can be such a support. And also, I was saying it in the guided meditation, it supports us to walk the path, but also as we're bringing it in, we're supporting that quality of confidence to grow. Yeah. Very, very beautiful. And now there's a lot of reflections. The more confidence to stay present and not lean into the next moment. Yeah, because we're less looking for something better, or else, but just actually, there's something here, and this is enough. How I attend to it. So really beautiful. Look how wonderful. It's wonderful to hear how you're practicing. Helpful that to hear, to remember that this moment matters, giving the practice in this moment a sense of importance. Now I'm wondering if that was feeding into Mara. I wonder in what way, Hannah, but I don't think so. I think that sense of really this moment does matter, and holding that lightly, not putting the whole weight of our path onto one moment, but saying, there is possibility here. How I attend matters. It's got significance. And, let's just feel into that and attend in the best way we can with the conditions that we have in the moment. But there's significance here very much. So I'm not sure what you meant by feeding into Mara, but of course, welcome to bring that in as well. So Joss, wonderful question there. Something about my contrary mind seems to have taken apart any guidance and was questioning seems to have to take apart any guidance, was questioning the word right. Who gives us this right? Or is it more an invitation to be here in connection with the earth? It is. Yeah, it's an invitation to be here. And it's always helpful to remember with this, it's everybody's right. So it's not, I think part of what we get like a little bit like suspicious of or unhappy with, and I think in a healthy way, is when it's I have a right. Yeah, it can feel like a sense of privilege. It can feel like a sense of kind of taking something, but actually we all have the right. All beings have this right to wish to be free of suffering and to take steps towards that. We all have that right. It's equally shared. And that's why the earth is our witness, because the earth is kind of beyond that preference. It doesn't prefer me over somebody else. Yeah, but it says, we have that right. We all have that right. Equally, you don't like that word, don't use it. Yeah, we're allowed. That's something that I sometimes use. I'm allowed. Yeah, I'm worthy enough to walk this path. I'm worthy enough to wish to be free of suffering. So finding, worthy may also not work for some people, maybe not even for the same person. Yeah. So just kind of playing with the language, but also feeling it as it's so much of the teaching is personal and impersonal. It's like inviting us to sit in this mutual place of like, we each have this capacity, and we each have this possibility, and we each deserve it. But it's also for all of us, Yeah. So helpful to me that I think I need to focus more on self-care, as I tend to get hurt easily. Can you give me some tips on this? Yeah, thanks, Laura. Sensitivity, how to hold a sensitive heart. Yeah, how to hold a sensitive heart in a world where sometimes there is hurtfulness, or even without intention, where we get hurt through that sensitivity. Grounding, really helpful, the body and the lower parts of the body, and also a sense of sometimes the back of the body, if the body's available for you, Laura, the back of the body, which opens up this sense of like something bigger to lean into. Something bigger to lean into. And that self-care, which includes that it's okay, to look after ourselves. It's also okay to protect ourselves. That's also okay. We don't always need to put ourselves out there. And if there's situations where we get hurt, then sometimes the right thing to do is not to engage with that, if that's possible for us, or to be clear about our boundaries. So it's a real nutshell, response, but feel free to bring it up tomorrow as well, in more detail, if you wish, because there's a lot in it, and it would be helpful to have a little bit more detail. But if my response was enough, that's also okay. But it may not have been. So we're at our time. There's a lot more comments and reflections. I will stay, 2 or 3 more minutes and try and respond to those. And if you need to go now, then really wishing you well and hoping to see you again tomorrow. So Kevin, lots of love, compassion, care for you. There's a sense there's too much dukkha in relation to confidence. Again, put it down if it's not helpful. Trust your own sense of what is helpful for you. And sometimes that's why there's different words there. So maybe it's not confidence, maybe it's something else that we may find, that is helpful in relation to that. And if there isn't right now, then we just put it down. Mara likes to hear this is important. Yeah, but things are also important. So, we can kind of wink at Mara and say, this is important, it's got nothing to do with you. Or allow them to join the party. Yeah, they want to enjoy it. Yes, let them enjoy it, yeah, but not kind of take over. They can be one voice, yeah, amongst the voices that are present. Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful to feel the goodness of trusting the practice and trusting your practice. Mm. Yeah. Yeah, it's a beautiful reflection from Connie there. Invitation to notice the confidence and taking the path and sense of possibility really helped my heart to open and soften more. There's a subtle sense of releasing from the grip of the mind's energy that inclines to doubt and adds its own interpretation to the doubt that arises. Sense of confidence allows the heart and mind to continue to practice and access a sense of ease. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, remembering possibilities and just noticing, so profound and powerful. Yeah, that sense of possibility that helps the heart to open and soften even a little bit makes a big difference. Yeah, yeah, beautiful. It is the confidence from Anita. I think this is the last one. That meditation will let me meet the moment with ease that gets me out of bed in the morning. Beautiful. The jewels of Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha nurturing and supporting my right to practice is so supportive. Yes, absolutely. Sadhu, sadhu. Well said, everyone, including those who have not articulated in the chat, but have kind of spoken through your presence and your practice today. So go well, everyone. Beautiful to be here with you. And I will be here again tomorrow.